incoming transmission. Make your imagine.
Um, so the first thing when I mentioned before we started, I wasn't really not sure if I want to another a mole show. I wanted something different. But like 30 seconds into it, like I mean, the animation style that we've all been drooling since we saw the first images,
Hmm.
was seeing it in motion and seeing the cityscape because the character designs are great. But just seeing the city or the planet of Janix and just getting hit with the kind of not speeder chase, but those vehicles at the beginning, the music going, and just seeing the cityscapes, all the colors, the brushwork, I was in from the beginning.
Hmm.
I'm locked in. Were you like locked in as soon as it started? Sometimes when you're such a fan of something, it takes a little bit to kind of yeah, this is kind of fits with everything. Or were
Hmm.
you on as soon as it started?
I was worried because mostly due to how excited I already was.
Hmm.
Like, this is Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, hey, Jordan loves Darth Maul. So for me, that was almost put me off of it because I
Yeah.
was I was so scared that there was no way it could live up to whatever I wanted.
Hmm.
And I've always tried to go into every Star Wars thing, with an open mind, and expectations will always kill
Yeah.
what could
It
be a
happens a
really
lot.
great story. You shouldn't let, hey, I expected this to be your only critique. If that, I mean, then you're not enjoying the story you're being given
Yeah.
and not giving it a real chance. So I was really trying my best to not go into it with anything. It was one of those few times that I watched the trailers, of course, but I didn't really watch anything else. Like, I didn't want to
Hmm.
see clips. I wasn't actively looking, for any story details or spoilers or anything, mostly because I didn't want to, I wanted to try and keep my expectations
Yeah.
from going too crazy. But yeah, like, I can't tell you the biggest smile on my face, you know, in that intro sequence,
Hmm.
not just because of the animation, but just seeing how they reintroduced them, coming down the walkway,
Yeah.
killing all those people. It's like, that's the Darth Maul everybody knows and expects and
Hmm.
wants to see, and they kicked it off like that, and it's like just such this supremely badass moment. And it's like, yeah, that's Darth Maul. I think we're gonna be okay here.
Yeah. And I'm
So
glad that
yeah,
you didn't see any of the clips because that was one of the clips they released.
yeah.
Which I think is kind of they shouldn't have started with the introduction of Darth Maul. It was super cool to be introduced to him that way. But I love that we're early on, like we're in it. Like as soon as the show starts, we don't need to go through all this background, how he got out of Mandalore, I guess
Hmm.
at the end of season 7 of the Clone Wars, how he got to Janix, why are the crime lords kind of betraying him? We don't need that backstory. Like we're in, and you're like you said, they're stealing credit. Darth Maul is slashing people, and we know that he's out for revenge. So I love that we're like,
Hmm.
yeah, this is the world, and we're full throttle. We're not gonna waste time. So I think that also for, like I mentioned myself, I was a little bit apprehensive. I'm like, okay, I don't need to worry about anything. Let's just go enjoy the show because I think it's gonna be like pedal to the metal, full on from the beginning. So I'm glad that it started that way.
Yeah, and like you said, it is nice that so much of this storytelling and how it's handled in the show is, you know it, it trusts the audience to pick up on certain things.
Hmm.
Is not, hell bent on just explaining every detail. It's not just there to info dump and lore dump on
Sure.
people, which,
Hmm.
some fans say, oh, I want to know this, I want to know that. Like with Bad Batch, and everybody, you had people that's like, well, why didn't, how did Asajj Ventress get there?
Yeah, yeah.
What has she been doing? And it's like, why would you expect her to give that information in a Bad Batch
Yeah.
story? It's
Let
like,
me sit down you for 10 minutes and
yeah,
explain my whole
yeah.
life real quick.
And it's like, I get that we want some of that information, but it's at the cost of the cool story that we're getting.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah, I don't really need that in between of what happened, because the story that we're given is him on Janix. And,
Hmm.
that's what we're here to see. And it does a great job of setting that up. And, with the visuals, it does so well with